Patdees, and I got four lovely ladies tonight with me. It's ladies' night, and I want to thank you guys for joining us. I'm your host, Patdees, and the reason it's ladies' night is why not? Why not hang out with these lovely ladies and have fun? But Jason and Eric actually are usually, as you know, here with me. Jason is Banana Finds, and Eric is the Nameless Picker. I actually spent the day with them. I had 2.5 hours of sleep last night, and I spent the day with them at an auction in upstate New York. If you guys watched earlier, I did a live from when we were doing the upstate auction. If you guys, I did mute it before, so I got a little feedback there. Sorry about that, guys.
Was that you? Was it you?
And I did. Yeah. No. I muted my other video, but for some reason when I viewed it on YouTube, so sorry about that.
Fired.
Pat, the reseller, is here. Hi, Pat and the ladies. Hey, Steve, thank you. But I think Eric and Jason did say they were going to watch tonight, but they live. I mean, Eric drove 400 miles to go to this auction, so he's not here tonight, but he'll be back next week, and so will Jason. But I spent the day. I met up with them around 10:15 this morning, and I left there about 4:45, and I just got home actually here at 8 o'clock, and that's here we are. We got the show. I'm going to let Kimmy, because I know Kimmy always likes to greet the people that come in.
I don't know, but it's just because I take the time to be a little personable.
That's right. So you say hello welcome the people that are in the room, and then we'll go around and each one of us will introduce ourselves.
All right. I see Myra Friedman says first, what's up? Welcome in. CH, hello. Eat Sleep Amazon, who is on the panel tonight. Patdees, the host. Caffeinated Christy. Y'all, if you have Instagram, you should go and follow Caffeinated Christy because she puts out some of the funniest memes, always in regards to, well, maybe it's just because I'm such a caffeine fan, but they make me laugh. Shout out to you, Christy, for having an awesome Instagram. It's Pat, the reseller, present and accounted for. Anita, Funita, another beautiful person on the panel. Rebecca, my sister from another Mr. Hello. Dino Mac, and thank you, by the way, Dino, for coming and hanging out with us all last night. Stephen Straight, Pamela Lynn. Hello. Steve. Adam. Adam. Hello, sir. Did I get everybody so far? I know that it will be a few, and we'll have more roll in. So if I missed you, I apologize, and I will try to get to you eventually.
Steve Alcorn is in here. Hey, Steve. Thanks, buddy. I was watching you live, actually, when I was coming home from New York. So I couldn't say much because I had to do the, talk to text. So that's always fun when you're driving because sometimes the words don't come out the way they're supposed to be. Kimmy, you want to? We'll start with you introducing who your channel and what you are, and then we'll go around to the rest of the ladies with our special guest then being the last one.
Yeah, so my name is Kimberly. My YouTube channel is Hoarderish, where hoarding is only cool if you can sell it for a profit, folks. I am a mom. I have 2 children, a 8-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl who just started high school. Lord help me. I'm a reseller. I sell on a couple different platforms. And I live life with a pacemaker. I've had 5 heart surgeries, and yeah, I'm just trying to do my thing.
And
Tiffany,
yep.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, Eat Sleep Amazon. I sell mostly on Amazon, a little bit on eBay, and I have a dog, and I'm just really happy to be here. Thanks to everybody in the chat, and thanks, Pat, for inviting me on.
No problem. Hey, real quick, I want to shout out to Adam. Thanks for the super chat. It says, Pat, you're a good man. Thank you. I really appreciate. I started my channel got monetized actually 2 weeks ago, and the last 2 Saturdays I've been averaging around $25 actually for super chats. And anybody who follows YouTube knows that there's really not much money into doing YouTube. I enjoy it just to meet and network, and that's the most important part is the social aspect of networking and meeting other people, and that learning, and hopefully turn it into something better financial than what YouTube is doing. But the super chats basically are donations from people, when they hit that $ below. So I really do appreciate it. Thanks again, Adam.
You have another super chat already.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my God.
That's Dwayne, because he was doing the
Hey,
auction.
Dwayne.
He was doing the auction tonight with NASCAR man 3345, and I said, because I outbid him one day for $2, I sent him a $2 super chat with the super sticker, and then I sent him another $2 to put towards his haircut fund. So he's giving me my $4 back. We're just gonna keep exchanging these $2 back and forth. So hey, but thanks, Dwayne. I appreciate it. Anita?
Hi, everyone. My channel name is Anita Funita. I'm a jewelry reseller. I sell other things too. I sell on Etsy and also on eBay, mainly on Etsy. I have 3 children. I live in California. I also have a jewelry Facebook group called There's Always Room for Jewelry. Feel free to join in. And that's it for me. I do a lot of videos when it comes to jewelry, how to test jewelry, how to clean jewelry, and then things like that. But I do other things too, but my main niche is jewelry.
Okay, and I'm Patdees, and I sell on eBay, Amazon. I do property management on the side. I even do Instacart grocery delivery. And as everyone knows, I host this show every Saturday here at 11 o'clock. And the common bond that we have is that we're all some sort of reseller, meaning that we do some sort of internet commerce, whether, like Anita's Etsy and Tiffany's Amazon, and Kimmy does a lot of eBay. That's it's the common theme among us. And, we don't really pick a specific topic that night. We kind of just get wrapped up into talking about things, and then sometimes they just come out on their own. But when I knew Eric and Jason couldn't be here this week, I just, I always have Anita and Kimmy having my back, and they come on the show with Eric and Jason also. And I said, you know what, let's just have it ladies' night. And I reached out to Tiffany a couple days ago, and I said, hey, why don't you come and join us? And I said, you know what, I wanted to have one more. I wanted to have a new lady that give her opportunity to kind of introduce herself. And I actually found, I think Veronica, I might have found her through Instagram. Is that right, Veronica?
No, actually, you were on another video, like another live.
All right. Well, why don't you tell them who you are and what your channel is? And everybody, keep in mind, you want to subscribe to their channel. Down in the description below, I will have their links afterwards. But if they type in the chat, like Tiffany just did, joy, the 3 dots to the right, you can go to their channel without leaving the broadcast and subscribe to their channel. So, Veronica, why don't you tell them who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Hi, everybody. I'm Veronica, the cherry picker. I'm 42 years old. 42? Yeah, I'm 42. 29. No, I'm 42 years old. I'm a wife and a mother. I have 3 beautiful girls. My oldest daughter's about to be 20 on the 20th. And then I have a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old who also just started high school on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a freshman now, but, so my baby's a freshman. I feel really old. I'm also a veteran. I'm a disabled veteran. My husband's also a disabled veteran. I do reselling on the side. I have a full-time job. I still work for the Army as a civilian. I have for about 17 years in the medical field. So do that. And then I do reselling on the side. I go to garage sales and estate sales, and I really don't go to thrift stores because around here they're crazy. And I sell on eBay, and I'm building up my Poshmark closet, and I list on Mercari as well.
Now, so you said you're still in the Army. What did you do? You're in the medical field in the Army?
I'm a civilian. I
Okay.
just do the pretty much administrative work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
can't-
what was the lure of making you wanted to, like, how long you've been doing eBay, and what made you start wanting to do eBay?
Well, about 5 years ago, I did a little bit of drop shipping, and it worked, and I was making good money with it. And then I kind of made some bad buys, and there was a big storm, and I put up a whole bunch of the roof rakes from the snow, and then all of the suppliers that I was going through ran out, so I had to refund like 15 people because everybody was looking for them, and it broke me. So I had to stop it for a little while, and then I was just watching videos, and I happened to come across Rake and Profit.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, Steve, and Rally Roots, and then I just pretty much down the rabbit hole from there. And I had already done it with the drop shipping. I had started doing it already with we have a Facebook auction page here here locally in Colorado Springs, where you put your item and it starts at $1, and then it goes up in increments by 50 cents, and it's only on for 24 hours.
No, what is that called again?
It's just a Facebook auction group.
Oh, I didn't even know that existed. Is that something that someone locally made, or I mean, I know Facebook Marketplace, but I didn't know that they had something like that even available.
Yeah, it's locally. Pretty much it's everywhere in the Colorado Springs area and surrounding. It's understood that you have 48 hours to go and pick up the item. So you just pay them cash. The bids start at $1, so you have to be willing to take $1 for your item.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. I mean, if you want to get rid of stuff or just like lot stuff up, a lot of people sell on there as well. So I sell a lot on there, and I've been just building up my store on eBay, and like I said, on Poshmark. So
Veronica, we're getting a lot of comments in the side chat thanking you for your service. So
can I say something real quick?
Sure.
So I don't know if you mentioned this, but so Veronica, the cherry picker, she actually lives like an hour and a half from me. We're gonna try to arrange a time to source together, right, Veronica?
Yes.
We want to make it happen. But I was hoping that the chat could throw down some hearts or some love to Veronica, because this is her first time going live. And for any of you that have done live, you know how absolutely scary it kind of is your first few times. So I would like to see the chat fill up with some hearts for Veronica for coming on and hanging out with us tonight and showing her that we're all good people and we appreciate you coming live with us.
And I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Pat, for allowing me to come on here. One of the reasons that I started reselling, or because I'm also a disabled veteran, so it's becoming a little bit more painful for me to be at work. My husband also needs a little bit more help at home now. His issues are getting a little bit worse as well. He just got, after 5 years of fighting the VA, we just got him up to 100% about 2 months ago. So it's been a fight. So I wanted to do the reselling thing to hopefully start making enough to where we can be comfortable with just our VA and be taken care of that way and be making money doing reselling.
That's great. Hey, real quick, Nate is in the room. Nate, are you still here? If you're here, every day I'm hustling. Yeah. I went live today, and he wanted me to do something, and I want to show him real quick. I lost the auction for $100 for the box that he wanted something in there. I don't know if he's still watching or not. Nate, can you hear me in there? He had to get to bed because I guess he had to get up early, but
he said he's here.
What do you? There it is, Nate.
That's a nice watch.
That is amazing.
There's your watch, Nate.
Here's
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool.
What
That's a
happened
nice
was
looking watch, Pat.
I lost the auction, and I was filming the whole time, and I went to the guy, and there was about 100 people there, and I said to him, "Hey, can I buy that watch?" And I said to him, he goes, "How much do you want?" I told him I'll give him $20 for it, and he's like, "Well, all right." So we bought it. So Nate, just contact me sometime in the next day or two, and we'll figure out a way to get this to you. Nate wants to do something with it. It's a little bit of an inside joke, but we basically, for about 40 minutes, waited on a live today to get this watch for him. So I'm going to give it to you. I'm not looking to make any money, and I'll ship it to you exactly what I have into it. And I appreciate you watching. So get the bed now so you can get up and do your job, because
I got to get up at like 4. I think 4 is what he said, or go to work at 4 or something.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, it's very.
Hey, I want to shout out real quick to Jackie and Sarah, the Treasure Hustlers. I haven't seen them much lately, so I really appreciate it.
They're lurking. They've been watching. They're lurking more these days. Which when you got a lot going on, you got to do.
Pat says, "Isn't this supposed to be about making money?" Well, yes and no. Look, it's also about making friendships, and sometimes you do things for others that, you know. To be honest, I give things away sometimes. So so life isn't always about making money, but you know, let's say 95% of the time it is. So, but thanks, Pat. And I'm not sure if it's Sarah or Jackie in the room. I have to come out from lurking when Pat copyrights himself. Copyright strike. They like to bust my chops. So, going back to Veronica, you were talking about your husband. Now he's gotten approved to. I'm sorry to cut you off there. What you were saying?
Oh no, I got done saying what I was trying to say. I mean, just the whole reselling thing is something, like I said, is something that I wanted to do on the side and make it a full-time thing. So.
Yeah. Now, is there certain things that you like to resell, or a niche, or certain things that you really feel comfortable with selling?
Right now, I'm kind of spread all over the place. I also watch The Auction Professor, so I look out for a lot of stuff that he says. I actually have an auction up right now of like 50 TV guides from 1971.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You sent me the pictures, and I was telling you I like the All in the Family. That's how some of this conversation started, because I'm a big fan of stuff from the 70s.
And I'm about to post a lot of 14. I think at 14 1970 that I have as well. So, and I also have a whole bunch of nerd stuff. Like I played D&D, and I collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I play Pokemon, and yeah, I like to watch anime. So
that's cool.
I have 2 auctions up right now of some Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are like first edition, just sitting in a box. I don't use it anymore. My girls don't like it, so I actually have bids on both of them, which is pretty cool. This is my first auctions, so.
Awesome.
Now, do you primarily do auctions, or do you do buy it now on eBay?
No, I have a store. I just upgraded to not the beginner, but like the starter. Like I've got 240. Yeah, so I just upgraded to that one, and I'm trying to put more items in there. I just I try and make a personal goal to list at least 3 items a day, minimum. So I try and stick to that, and I've been sticking to it, but I've been sourcing a lot more than I've been listing, which doesn't make my husband happy. But
no, I think I'm guilty of that myself. I probably have 2,000 things sourced, but only 1,300 items listed. So, you know, when people talk about those death piles, I don't know if it's just stuff that's not selling. For me, it's just stuff that's not listed. So to me, it's not a death pile. It's a money pile that I just, you get caught up in sourcing, and then, you know, then doing YouTube as a channel, you kind of get distracted with that what I need to do is kind of pound out a whole bunch of listings.
Yep.
Now, Veronica, do you what's your page that if we want to share your YouTube, is it
It's just the cherry picker.
The cherry picker?
Yep. It's the cherry picker that's on YouTube, and then I'm also on Instagram as the cherry picker, but I have it's like the _ cherry picker _ So
Okay.
I shared it on the chat a little bit ago.
Okay, yeah, they were having. I think what happens is we have some mods. Mods are people that monitor the chat with the blue wrenches, and they usually will share links, to help the guest and also monitor the chat to make sure there's no foul language and stuff on there. So if they find it, they'll definitely post your channel and stuff. So
like Kimmy knows, and I've said it on my channel before, around here the weather is crazy, so the garage selling is few and far between. I know that
she lives in a much smaller town than I do. The Springs is kind of a weird area, and they get way worse weather than I do here in Denver. Well, more often for sure.
But I mean, the garage sales around here are few and far between. I know the sourcing up in the Denver area is probably phenomenal. Down here, it's pretty good, but you need to go to the areas and where there's more military. And I mean, around here, we've got the Air Force Academy, we've got Fort Carson, we've got Striever Air Force Base and Peterson Air Force Base. So we're surrounded by military posts. So sometimes it's really good to be able to go on post and go to those garage sales when they're available. But the thrifting around here, I don't know how it is up in Denver for you, Kim, but down here, the Goodwills have caught on, and the jeans are minimum 20. The shirts are minimum
They're
8.
raising prices.
Yeah, the jeans are minimum $20, like minimum $20.
That's crazy. How many Goodwills are in the Springs?
4.
That's crazy. Yeah,
even the Ark has started raising prices as well down here. I mean, any good brand shirts are between $8 and $12.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, you got to learn with all these kind of higher prices and the things that Goodwill is figuring out, that's like somebody the other day was talking about one of the reasons that they love hard goods is people, the employees of Goodwill have a harder time, it doesn't say Adidas on it and, or whatever it is, a kind of more common name brand. So it's a little harder for them to mark that price up. But with anything, times change. Like it's just another thing that we got to sort of adjust. And depending on where you live, you might have to just source a little, differently. And nowadays with the internet, I mean, you could pretty much source online and get it shipped to you if that's what you really, kind of had to do. But I think right now yard sale season is the way to go. And source so that when the weather does change, that you still have things that you can be listing.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Try to stock up on yard sales.
Yes. And then for those YouTube, for anybody who creates content, film as much as you possibly can, because again, winter comes and you don't have all those same opportunities to film. So that way you have stuff you could be putting out. You don't have to film something and then put it out right away, unless you're doing like, week of this for couponing or week of this for Dollar General penny sales, then you have to do it right away. But, stock up and all of that and document your journey, through whatever you're doing, reselling or whatever it is, because people really like to follow that. I know, Veronica, you do a lot of kind of haul videos. One of the last ones I was watching, you were like in between. She was doing a haul in her car, which, I mean, you do whatever you got to do, right?
I was in the drive-thru trying to get lunch.
Yeah, you were in line or something. I mean, that is commitment, people. YouTube content on your lunch break or whatever.
And yes, when you have the opportunity and the money to stock up and you have it, go ahead and use that opportunity. That happened to me today. I found 8 jewelry jars today, and usually I never find any, and I had the money, so I said, okay, I'm just going to get them, because if I come another day and they're not here, I might as well get them now, because when you have the opportunity and you have the money, go ahead and get it. Same goes for yard sales and anywhere else, because you don't know if things are going to be there tomorrow.
They're usually not. Like that's I never.
And they're usually not, right?
Yeah, they're usually not. Like when you're. Because someone's going to beat you to it. I was thinking earlier when Veronica was mentioning the whole how she tries to list 3 things a day, which I think is an awesome idea. Absolutely important to be trying to list something every day. You know, I tell people if you have only 7 things that you can list in a week, do 1 every single day. You know, and if it's a time restraint, or if you are busy 5 out of those 7 days, then pay the 10 cents and schedule the listing. You know, that it's totally worth it. But that made me think about Anita, who holds herself accountable by doing this thing on Instagram, right, Anita, where you show that you've listed your 10 items in Etsy. And I think that's awesome, because it's just like you've been making YouTube, content, kind of anything that you put out there, you're sort of holding yourself accountable to by having to do it, because it's out there for everybody to kind of see. So I think that's awesome. I think it would be kind of cool if maybe there was some challenge or something, doing with.
One of the things that I started doing, and I had it, when I started really ramping up on YouTube, I was doing a personal challenge, and I was putting it on Instagram also. I had a 5 a day for in May challenge for myself, and I only did it for about 14 days, like up until like Mother's Day, because I got back from Mother's Day, and then life just got crazy, because girls are ending up with finals, they need this, they need that, somebody got sick, and I was like, I got to do my listing, but I'm so tired.
Right. I know. Yeah. I think also a good idea is to have a sort of a accountability, partner, somebody that will, kind of give you a little push when you're feeling a little down. And then that way you guys can sort of balance each other out, or motivate each other, to get things done, or just to chat every day and be like, hey, Anita, how many did you list today? Yeah, there's
or you can always schedule it and say, okay, from this time to this time, no matter what, I'm gonna do this listing, I'm gonna do 2 or 3, or schedule it out and make sure you do it at that time, just like you go to work, you clock into work, right? You can set a schedule. Okay, I'm at work right now.
Well, I mean, it's definitely matters what, if you want it to be a hobby, then you're gonna sort of have to arse it. If you want it to be a job, then you need to treat it like a job.
Absolutely.
I hear a lot of people who always who say, well, I can never, get this amount of listings or whatever it is in my store because I'm always selling. Well, then you need to be selling one more item than listing one more item than you're selling that day. So if you're selling 3 items, then you need to list 4 of them.
Over time.
That going. Because you're just gonna, it's just gonna keep kind of dwindling down. But there's so many good tips and a lot of amazing people out in the community of all, from Instagram to Facebook to YouTube, that have all kinds of great ideas. And really at the end of the day, it's what works best for you. What works for you is what you should do.
Yeah, I mean, I got a little bit overzealous when I started the YouTube, but I got really excited about it. I also had a tummy tuck done, like an abdominoplasty done earlier this year, and I put that on YouTube. And I had come up with an idea to do like a reseller workout hour. Yeah, like a reseller workout hour, because, your arms get tired looking for clothes. So you got to work out your arms,
Yeah.
You got to squat properly when you're trying to look under those tables at garage sales. So, you got to do the proper squats so you don't hurt your back. I was telling my girls that I wanted to do this, and they're like, Mom, you're such a dork.
No, I think that's a great idea. I think
cool.
a lot of times listers or people in the reselling community, who are sitting at their computers all day, it's kind of hard to get up and be active. And then just
I even had like chair exercise ideas because I know that like not everybody can do exercises or even like standing exercises. So I had chair exercises to do.
I think that's a cool idea. Maybe you should like start a group or something, or I'm sure that there's others that would be, wanting to also kind of better their health. Gotta stay around for a long time. So you gotta stay healthy.
Yeah, I think that's really good because Kimmy makes a good point. Like when you're listing or you're working on your reselling business, a lot of people just forget to schedule workouts or they just don't put it as priority. So I think that's a really cool idea what you have.
Well, and then I've noticed I've created even kind of some bad habits that I didn't do before of like listing or whatever, and then getting up and hitting up the fridge, almost right away, just like in between. I know Beth. Yeah, Beth, my friend Beth, 10 Apart, did something a little while back where she made and I don't know if she's still doing this, but I thought it was a really good idea of no stacking at your desk. And I was like, man, that's what I need to do because that's what gets, kind of hard. I used to be good about working out, but I'm not anymore. But I do squat standing at my desk now. My desk is a little higher up. So literally a lot of times when I'm typing out to y'all in your chats, I'm like sitting here going like this up and down.
Have you guys ever tried one of those standing desks?
No, but I think they're really cool. I like the idea. I wonder if anybody in the chat has one of those. Anybody in the chat have one of them it rises up, right?
Yeah.
The rising desk. Yes, I want to get one of those.
There's people that have them where it's like a treadmill. You can walk. I mean, you walk very slow, but you have the.
I've seen those too. Yeah.
Oh, that would really be multitasking.
Right. We need to figure out some way to do it.
I know. Doing that while you're on a live, trying to pay attention to the chat too. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that makes my head hurt.
A treadmill live.
A treadmill live. I think treadmill live.
I'm walking and I'm talking in the chat at the same time.
I would trip. I'm telling you, I'd be the one to fall off, whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Me too, Kimmy, for real. I'm a klutz.
Yeah.
I mean, with this reselling, I could see how hard it would be to schedule something for us to go out and work out and do something because we're in a sitting position on the computer, either listing or if not, if we're packing or we're doing one of our lives or videos, we don't have time to schedule anything for us to do any kind of workout.
I know, right? And it's important to take care of yourself for sure. You gotta find some time to do.
Yeah. Oh no, totally. I had like a total idea, like with your death piles, just go grab a bag. There's your weights right there. Just your death pile weights. There you go.
Repping bags with Veronica. Repping bags.
Right. And we have a lot of those.
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Right.
CH Enterprise says he is doing dipping my shrimp in the cocktail sauce.
Right. We're not eating very
healthy. There you go.
Goodwill curl. You're funny.
Mostly soft drinks and snacks or sweets.
Right? Hello, Michelle. I see you in there. And Denise, welcome. And of course, my Curb Co queens, the treasure hustlers. You ladies are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying something about
they have an acid burn.
Yeah,
on the leg, and they haven't seen
the jewelry tester. Yeah,
let's be careful of those.
Sounds very
depends on how bad it's burned. I mean, she was asking if she should go see a doctor. If it looks bad, I would go ahead and go.
I would definitely go.
Yeah,
because if it's acid, it turns into a chemical burn and it can get deeper overnight.
Right. they'll give you some kind of like cream for it or something to put on it that'll stop the burn, and also it'll help heal it.
Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, I would take her.
Definitely. Yeah, I had a family member last year that got a wound and it got infected and they got gangrene. And they caught it just before like where they would have had to like remove.
You can't play around with injuries anymore. That necrotizing fasciitis has its rounds around. Like there's a reseller that's here in the Pueblo area. Kiva Cordova is her name. And her daughter got like almost died from this thing. I mean, she was in intensive care for weeks.
Wait, so what is it? What is it?
It's called necrotizing fasciitis. It's an infection, and it pretty much like it eats your body away.
Wow.
It's an infection, and it's sometimes they catch it too late.
Did it start with like a wound or
like a scratch? It's a bacterial infection. So it's just something to, pay attention to. But, I mean, you can look it up. It's necrotizing fasciitis. Like there's a whole page on Facebook of like followers to make people aware and stuff.
What up, Glenn? Swamp Picker.
Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry. Just go ahead and go. It only takes like a few minutes. Depending on how packed your urgent care is, it'll just only take maybe an hour or so. And get out.
Right.
They're finding algae. They just closed the lake here. They closed the lake here because of the algae. There's a couple of dogs that died from getting water.
Yes. I used to live in Austin, Texas, and they've got like a lot of rivers and lakes there. And I'm on a couple of Facebook pages and they were talking about dogs that are dying from the algae.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
So sad.
It is.
Hey, Anita, Joy is asking, can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, what do you want to know?
Everything.
Tell us all your secrets, Anita.
Yeah, when you were born in 1982, start from then.
I was born in 1990. No, 1976. I was born. I just turned 43. I was born in Armenia. I've been here since I was 4 years old. I have 3 children. Let's see what else.
I got a twin.
Yes, a twin. I have twins, 10-year-olds, 1 boy, 1 girl. You saw them.
Yeah, we got to see them before the show.
So cute, so cute. They
and
both.
I also have a 19-year-old daughter. And let's see here. I started YouTube about a year ago. And
wow, only a year ago.
About a year, yeah.
Yeah, and your channel's doing great.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. And I've always loved jewelry, so I just fixated on that. But I am trying to branch out into other things. I'm selling other items right now, and when I do go to garage sales and thrift stores, I do look at other things. I look at the jewelry first, but I do look at other things and pick up other things as well. And let's see, I'm thinking.
Anita, you see I posted on the screen?
You want to know? Let's go. It's just mainly some of the things that I've listed, and the things that I've kept for myself in there. My debt pile, and some of my debt piles are in there. I did actually do a video on what's in there that I have in my YouTube. In my YouTube, I do have a video that I did called "What's in My Cabinet Shelf." It's called "What's in My Cabinet Shelf," that I showed everybody what is inside.
I'm sure.
I added a few more things, but yeah.
Now, Dwayne just posted that you and your sister do makeup things too?
Yes, we do. We've done a couple of episodes, and we'll be doing a new one. Maybe sometime in this month, we'll try to do one again, where we do like makeup, not tutorials, but she does her makeup, I do mine. They're
fun. They have great. They're sisters, but they have a great chemistry on camera together.
She doesn't like the way I do my makeup. She's telling me what I'm doing wrong while she's doing hers.
That's what sisters are for, right? What's up, raccoon?
I actually today was when I was up in upstate New York and I was doing a live. Somebody during the chat says, "I'm here too." So I thought they meant meaning they were in the side. I was carrying something to my car, and a lady comes up to me and she says, "I know you," and I'm like, "What?" And I thought she was going to give me a hard time because the auctioneer caught on that I was filming, and I told him I did have somebody live that was interested in something, and they were okay with it. They were good sports about it because I was a little nervous because sometimes you know how people are, but when you're out in public like that, I was trying to be really conscientious of filming what was going on and some of the stuff. And she goes, "Oh yeah, I watch you on YouTube." Her name is Bridget, and she goes on a show in the morning, and she was telling me that she makes more doing eBay, something like 3 times more doing eBay than she does. She was walking to her car with like 10 rings on her finger, and she was buying jewelry. And in between, these people, one guy had like a little scale. He was weighing things, and they had the little eye thing and looking at it. And I was like, man. And I immediately thought of you, Anita. But it was the first time that someone had said that they recognized me out in public.
That's really cool, Pat. How did you feel like when they said?
Well, you know how shy and quiet I usually am.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard you on the phone. He's like,
shy.
"Hi, I'm Patdees. Hello, how are you? How are you?" He names everybody. He comes around. The people at the toll booth, the people at the grocery store. He
comes out of the house
and kind to everybody.
I can see him coming out of the house. It's Patdees.
Well, when I first went live, because Veronica doesn't know, you can't go live on your mobile unless you have 1,000 subscribers.
Right. Yeah.
So me and my son went to Popeyes and we went live. And that was the show, Tiffany. I mentioned something with you on it that day. And we're sitting there and I'm talking to the camera and people are coming in. "Hey, Pat, what's up? This and that." And all of a sudden, a guy comes over to me, and he goes, "Hello, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, good. How are you?" And I don't even know who he was, and he walked away. And then someone in there's like, "Oh, do you know him?" I'm like, "No, he wanted to say hello to me, I guess, because he heard me talking to the camera and stuff." And I just try to be friendly with everybody. But it was nice. Bridget, New York Picker. She is on the show.
I didn't realize you were talking about that, Bridget. Yeah, she's like friends of the morning crew. She's she's friends with Chick Picker, Valerie, and Tom.
Yeah, exactly. And she knows Tara Carey was in the room when I was doing it. I couldn't believe how many people I had actually watching. What happens is you get to a point when you're about 7 minutes in, and when you don't have a lot of people watching, you sometimes say, "Well, should I stop it?" But you can't do anything. If you want to do that little commercial in the beginning that's 15 seconds at the end, you got to have 10 or 11 minutes. Well, by that time, there was like 20-some people watching, and people were saying, "Oh, this is cool. We never got to go to auctions or this and that." So I kept it going. And then when Nate asked me about that Rolex watch, if I could get it, the box got shifted around, and I was like, "Where's the box? Where's the box?" So I got up walking around. And then finally, we got it. And I said, "Look, if we do get this," but I lost the auction because the guy paid $100 for the box. So I said, "I got to go." And then he messaged me in the chat saying, "Hey, maybe I'll sell you just that watch, and if so, that he would take it." I think she changed her name again, Lost Treasure 70. I'll tell you, I was amazed. She's telling me she sends out 50 packages at a time. I'm just amazed by. When you talk, this happened just recently. I was at UPS, and a young lady was carrying in about 50 boxes, and her and her dad work out of her house making guitar skins. They have a vinyl machine where they print guitar skins and they do mailbox coverings. And she told me they do $500,000 a year just doing that. I was like, wow, and they have a website, and so it's always neat. Yeah, here comes Craig. They must have got him out. He must have snuck out. thought this was the late.
He's jealous. He wants to come in too.
Well, you can't. I'm the host, and I'm giving the girls their alone time. So I know that's Jackie saying it's Patty.
Yes.
Sarah's too sweet to me. Jackie always wants me. Patdees, get the green wig. No, that green wig came out only for St. Patty's Day. I signed a contract with Destiny, the Shamrock Pixie, that I would do her show, and I only have to do it once a year with that. So the green wig only comes on once a year.
I love that green.
We know you have other wigs too, Pat.
Anita.
That's funny.
Now, Veronica, are you interested at all in Tiffany sells? You don't sell, right, Tiffany? You don't sell on eBay. You just sell on Amazon, right?
I do sell on eBay, but very small, like maybe like 10% of my business. So,
right.
Yeah, I
Are
do.
you interested in doing Amazon, Veronica?
Oh yeah, I really do want to do Amazon. I want to perfect the eBay thing first before I jump into Amazon, because I know it takes a little bit more dedication for the Amazon. You need to, put I already have an EIN, but it was when I had the drop shipping business.
Okay.
So, I already have one. So I just would need to put all the money into that. It's just around here. I don't know how the retail arbitrage or anything is around here very well. I'd probably do pretty good with books though.
Yeah, books are awesome. I mean, that's a great place to start if you live somewhere where you can source books well.
Swamp Picker just let me know that I'm three subs away from 100. That's
Yay!
And Rebecca's calling me out. She said I wore my wig twice.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what was the other reason that you wore it. I can't remember.
I think she's right. I wore it maybe for about 10 minutes, goofing around, and then they said I thought you were only going to wear it once. So then I put it to bed, like Anita said, with my other wigs. I have different colors.
The green one's the best though, because you had that big old bow on it. It was so cute. It was so cute, Pat. So cute.
But Tiffany, why don't you explain to people a bit about how you kind of came about wanting to do it? People are saying to Veronica, do Amazon.
I think he's being sarcastic.
No, but
Amazon is easy. Just do it.
I don't do Amazon at the level that you do. I mean, there, Swamp Picker says you're at 100 now, Veronica.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
That's a little bit of a milestone for me. I appreciate it.
See, you came on Patdees' show, and you're hitting milestones already. Now you got to get out content there.
Yeah, now you can do likes.
I was sitting in the green room listening to you about lifting the. I like cheeseburger, Coke Zero, cheeseburger, and you were talking about the death pile bags. So maybe I'm gonna have to start watching because I kind of get sidetracked on my journey back to being better health.
That would be exciting. You can have competitions. Like see who can do the most reps.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely. So yeah, to answer your question, Pat, I got started on, I had done eBay. I just started earlier this year. So I started Amazon the end of February, and I had done eBay, but not like as, to make like as a business or anything. I just sold things that I had extra around my house. But I met somebody that sold on Amazon and kind of, told me a little bit about it, and I just went from there, like got on YouTube and watched everything I could. And I already had a job, making some income, but I do have some health problems, and I needed to kind of supplement my income with something that I could do from home. And so yeah, I just got going. As I definitely would say, read the terms of service for Amazon, and definitely check all your boxes, make sure you're doing what you need to be doing. But I think Amazon's great for sure. So
Now, without getting talking about what you sell, in other words, certain brands. In other words, are you a clothing seller? Are you a makeup seller? Are you a toy seller? Hey, real quick, just before I forget, Anita, they're talking about something. Show your baby picture. You were a beautiful baby.
Yeah, I think she was asking because that picture was in the cabinet. I did take it out so she can see.
All right, hold on. Let's get you solo. Wow. Now,
That is so
that
cute.
That's such a beautiful picture.
Yeah, this is a picture taken in Armenia.
Wow. How old were you in that photo?
I don't know, maybe 8 months or 7.
Aww. That's so cute.
does anybody want to see my baby photos?
I should show you guys my army picture. I had no hair, none. I had literally like a bowl cut.
Let's see it.
Also, I can read looking down here. But yeah, I might show it on one of my videos.
I like actually going, and I'm teasing Anita because a lot of people now with cameras, they're not printing pictures. I mean, I'm seeing it at the local CVS. I mean, it used to be a big section of where they make. They used to have a photo machine, could get it the next day or an hour. Now it's just mostly a self unit where you go in and you put the stick in and then whatever you want to print. So there's a lot of I like to sit down sometimes and just be looking through photos because I always say they tell a story, and I'm trying to follow the chat also in here, so it's funny because when you kind of glance, people don't realize when you're doing. I'll tell you, when I'm doing StreamYard, I'm seeing the post in the back room, but when I pull up my YouTube screen, it's like it seems longer than 30 seconds delayed, and then all of a sudden it will catch up, and you'll go to message somebody, and you're kind of getting lost. So I see Kathy. She must have took a break from dumpster diving. Everybody doesn't.
Kathy's here, awesome.
Yeah, just me, Kathy. She lives in Pennsylvania too. I always tell her that she's my neighbor, so she's in there. I'm hoping one day. I was just down to Philadelphia last Sunday with my son to see the Eagles training camp, and it's always nice to kind of meet up with people. I have a busy schedule this month. I'm going next week. I don't know if you guys have been following, but I've been doing stuff with Jeremy and George from What the Hells. They were on the show Thursday. We did an interview, and 3 weeks ago I was out in Ohio. Well, they're coming into Pennsylvania this week, and we're going to be doing a day or two stuff together, doing some filming and storage auctions. And then the following week, I'm heading out to Nashville. So I'm going to go out to Nashville. Lots of Josh. Hey, buddy, thank you for if you guys don't know lots of Josh, he's got a growing channel and a smart guy. So you click the 3 dots.
Josh really is great information.
Yeah. And again, this is what this is about, networking and talking to other people. I'm excited to Nashville. Yes, Rusted Raccoon. There is a meetup that Scott and Phil are doing. There's a whole list of things. It has a group on Facebook, but they're going to be doing. I'm going down to Nashville the following week, so the 23rd and the 24th, and I'm staying actually with Glenn, the Swamp Picker. He's from Louisiana, so me and him are going to share a room. I had reserved a room, and he had reserved a room, and then he said to me, and I wanted to find somebody that kind of wasn't going to be like, if I wanted to go to bed at 1 o'clock, they weren't going to be banging on the door and carrying on. I'm like, because I'm not a partier or a drinker.
I think Glenn is secretly a partier. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It might get wild over there.
Yeah, Glenn's the wild one of the group. No.
He'll be sleeping out with the crocodiles then. I don't know. They have crocodiles in Louisiana, but I don't know about Nashville. So, hey, and I don't know. I haven't heard Craig talk about it. He's here and busting my chops again. It's going to be down at Nashville, but it's going to be a unique circumstance because I have to. When we do our Thursday night live, that's the day I leave. So I'm going to be on the road. Kimmy's hosting the show that week. I'm going to be on the road to do my live portion with her. And then I'm going to go live from Nashville Saturday to do the Late Late Show. And Glenn will be there. I'm hoping I can get 1 or 2 people that maybe want to join me there. But, these people, it was funny because I got my hair cut the other day by a young lady that opened a shop that used to be an employee of mine, actually. She worked for me when she was 15 when I owned a Subway franchise. And she was cutting hair about 10 years ago, but stopped. And now she opened a new place. And she said she was just down to Nashville. And she says, it's a party town. I'm like, oh, boy. She said she went with some girlfriends. She said it's actually not a good place to go with a husband and wife just because of the atmosphere that she was down there. And so I'm worried that some of these interviews I'm going to want to do, or even a couple tapings that could be ruined from people. They're not going to stop partying because Patdees wants to talk to them. So Lonnie is not coming. I talked to Lonnie the other night. I guess he was in Tennessee already this year twice, so he is not going to be there. But there are going to be a lot of resellers. People that don't even do YouTube and people that do YouTube are going to be down there. And then when I come back, so a lot of things going on in the next 2 weeks. Hey, Nisha, thanks for stopping in.
Now, you're saying Nashville is like party? Is it like party like New Orleans, Vegas party city?
I don't know. I'm
You've got me curious.
This girl, let's put it this way. The girl told me, and she doesn't watch my YouTube channel, so I'm not going to say anything bad, but she missed the flight coming home with her girlfriend, and her husband said, "Are you kidding me?" So they had stopped at the bar at the airport and got sidetracked, and she just said that there's just certain things that she probably couldn't do with her husband down there because he probably would have been like, "No, you can't do that." And Mary Death is saying it, country western Vegas party. There you go.
A Vegas party.
Yeah. So Rusted Raccoon is saying I have to auction schedule. Sue's gonna be down there. Steve's supposed to be down there. Scott's supposed to be down there. I'm not sure if Harlan's coming in, but there's gonna be a bunch of people. And they have like 5 or 6 things, like flea markets, different things that you're gonna do. Hey, Cliff. We haven't seen you in a while. Pat, I want to hear from the ladies of the night. Yeah, I know. They were talking a couple minutes, Rebecca. So I kind of get accused of where's Pat? Where's Pat? But I'm letting them talk. Timmy's a little hungover from her show last night. From
over.
I was like tired hungover, not hungover.
That show is awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Goodness. Yeah. The crazies come out at night are always good, fun shows. I think it's good to kind of take a break from life and to laugh a little bit, and not have to necessarily worrying about whatever it is that you got to worry about. Because really, all you can do is take care of what you can at that moment. And you can't do anything about tomorrow yet. It's not here. So might as well take the time to have a little laughter. And I also enjoy, hanging out with everybody and getting to know everybody. Even though, some of the crazies come out at night, get a little PG-13. So if you're easily offended, I wouldn't maybe watch, but it's fun though. I usually am laughing so hard that I cry at some point. Almost.
Hey, Rebecca, excuse me, Kimmy. Rebecca's saying she missed the last Mad. Do you have that laying there on the side that maybe before the show's over tonight you could read it?
What about the dinner one? Did you hear the dinner one?
No, I tried to go to bed at 1:30.
Oh my gosh. So there was a dinner one with Harlan and Jason, Thrift Trader. That was highly entertaining.
Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah. So I thought there was one more at the very.
There was one more, and it's probably more. It would be better to read that one if I read any of them than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Help it if the people in the chat, our friends are all naughty and they give naughty answers. It's not my fault.
I hang out with you guys more often.
It was fun. know?
It's better for the crazies to come out at night than during the day.
I know, and it's the only episode that I type of show that I let roll like that. I try to be a little more conservative and low key all the other shows, but like I said, it's good to laugh and have fun and hang out. So maybe I will read that at the end. I should read it first before I read it out loud just to make sure. Yeah, see, Craig says I can't read that one if Harlan's not here. Well, it's not Harlan isn't.
Can I ask a question? What is the raciest things you guys have resold?
Oh. For me, it would be a Playboy magazine.
Yeah, I was gonna say old Playboys. Yeah,
that I don't get involved in. I'm a conservative guy just in general, so I don't have this attitude that I'll sell anything for money. If I'm not comfortable with it, I just won't sell it. But I have sold celebrity Playboy magazines. Anything else of that? No. Veronica, you got to keep in mind, before I started doing this full time about 9 months ago, I used to be in the restaurant business. So I had 4 restaurants over 20 years. So I was always concerned that, people would be like, it was bad enough now sometimes when you're employing over those years, 800 employees and dealing with customers that, someone would say, oh, Pat's selling so-and-so. And I didn't need that hassle. And I'll be honest, any Playboy magazines I sold wasn't when I just sold 1 or 2 recently because they came with a bunch of books. So instead of throwing them away, I listed them and I sold it. But I haven't. How about you, Tiffany? And if you don't want to say, that's fine. It could be your little ears.
Yeah. Well, I don't sell these. But no, I'm pretty vanilla. I mean, I think the craziest thing I've sold was a breast pump. So, but Amazon's really strict if you sell adult toys or anything like that. You have to have a completely separate account. So they don't want it mixed in with your other. So yeah, but those are hot items actually. Those are good money makers. So yeah.
Anita?
How about you, Anita?
I've sold a nude lady cake topper. I still have a couple of them, but it's wearing kind of like a mesh see-through outfit, but they are for bachelor parties and things like that. So
right. And that question scared Kimmy off. So
yeah.
or she went to get it.
Yeah. Right. She's going to do a live QVC moment right here. Yeah. Veronica, since you brought it up, well, we're going to ask you the question. It sounds like you maybe have a certain part of your store that you sell risque stuff.
No, I don't. It was just a question to throw out there. But the raciest thing that I sold, it was a cake pan for a bachelorette party.
Okay.
I sold it for $9, and it was on that auction site that I was telling you about. So.
Well, I'll tell you, and that's the thing when you're sourcing at the Goodwill of the Salvation Army, you're not running into those type of things. Where you would run into stuff that would be racy would be storage units. I mean, I do property management, and we just cleaned out a house, and the person couldn't pay their bills, but it was amazing what they had in the house. When I told the owner of the bill what we had to throw away, he was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they had kids in the house with all this stuff around. But now you started some of the chat. People are Rusty Raccoon sold something for $300.
Donatella says she's got some stories. She also does the storages, so I'm sure she's seen some things.
Of course, because you run into a lot of stuff that people don't even remember what they have, and they're throwing it in bags and just throwing it in the unit and stuff like that. There's Kimmy.
I can't. Right.
Did you Veronica posted a question right before you left. She wanted to know, have you sold any racy items or the most raciest item that you've sold?
Well, yeah, I heard that part. that the only thing that I could think of really is the Playboy magazines, and they're older ones. For a while, you couldn't sell any of them past a certain date. I think that changed though. But you know who taught me how to sell Playboy magazines? My mom. My mom. My mother. My mother is the one's like, you could sell these on eBay. I'm like, oh my God, Mom. I pick them up from estate sales. Like you can get magazines, and I think the last ones were from the 60s that I had sold. But besides that, maybe like clothing items, I guess. But that's about it. That's, I guess, the raciest thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not too exciting.
The magazines sell well when, especially like Pat said, when there's celebrities on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was always concerned too because my kids are nosy, and they'd be like, "Hey, Dad's selling," and then
then Dad's in trouble. Then they're stealing the products.
Yeah. Actually, I got a unique story because when I ran the restaurant, there was a lady that come in, and I mentioned this once before, and I said to her, I said, "You look like Anne Margaret," and and she's, "Oh, thank you." And she looked about 75, but she looked good, And she pulls me to the side the next time, and she had a picture of herself with Anne Margaret and Burt Reynolds, herself and her husband. And she showed me pictures of she had a house. I guess was it Margot? What's the place where Donald Trump has down in Florida? Mar-a-Lago
or something like that.
Yeah, right. Well, she ran with that crowd, and I guess back in the 50s and 60s, she was a burlesque type lady. So she had pictures that I had listed some years ago up on eBay because they're very rare. But they were I don't know, they weren't that risque, but they were still for the time. And here to find out, and she moved. She sold this $1 million apartment in New York, and she had a place in Florida. I used to make a lot of connections with the restaurant, and you find out some people's life. I actually sold, and that's one of the things that I've done. I've sold some things on consignment. I sold about $5,000 worth of her husband's. When he passed away, he cleaned out his office, and he had a lot of like Mickey Mantle autograph pictures and stuff like that. And I sold a lot of that memorabilia for. I don't know. Someone posted the other day. What are those? How do you say, Tiffany Laladro? Those statues, the ceramic statues that people used to pay. Someone had posted on Instagram. I wasn't sure if it was Craig the other day, but she had a lot of those. And I tell you, when the economy had tanked years ago, it was hard to kind of say to her that, hey, look, I know you said you paid $800 for this, but I said I don't even want to be bothered because I don't want to insult you if you're only going to get $200 for it. Plus, to ship that, at the time I was still doing the restaurant, and I did. Oh, yeah, it was Craig. See, yeah, it was. He sold one for. Here it is. He sold one for $175. He paid. Yeah, he paid $25. And exactly what I said. I said they probably go for $150 to $200. I just didn't want to be bothered with the responsibility of shipping it and wrapping it. Because I was too busy involved what I was doing that there it goes. Yeah, pronounced Yadro. Yeah. Do you know anything about that, Anita? Those type of
they're pretty expensive, and like light gray, like lighter colors. That's how you can tell which ones are the real ones.
It reminds me of because people get involved in like buying stuff from the, they'll buy things they like the Franklin Mint or the, a lot of those things that are really saturating the market, and then try to sell them on eBay, and they get disappointed because like one of the things I got from her was those Franklin Mint, baseball plates, and they paid like $25 for them, and they say, "Oh, they're in the box. This is how much I paid for them." Yeah, but they're not worth $25. They're only worth like $5. So that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy,
Hello,
what
Nathan.
Yeah, some of those are in the thousands.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And some are in the 20s, 30s. Depends on which one you have.
So it's based on like what the actual image is, and
based on which one it is. And I think those are numbered too, right? Numbered.
Yeah, this is why, again, I didn't know nothing enough about it. But what made me think about it was Craig that had posted that the other day, that he saw. And Mary Death, some are discontinued. She has several. Yeah, once a person kind of gets wrapped up into some of those things.
Yeah.
And Mike is saying, yeah, see?
Yeah, you have to research it and see which ones are the higher valued ones, what to look for, and
as low as 30, and they probably paid hundreds of dollars for that.
30, and then there's a major difference, $30 to thousands.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what you're looking for.
And that's scary, because you can get, when you see something, let's say selling for 1,000, and then the seller thinks, hey, these sell for 1,000 on eBay. And then you, as a buyer, you get the call to go over, and then you kind of get sucked into buying it because you think it's worth that much, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? So, Veronica, I have you sitting on the bottom row now. It's the bottom bunk. Kimmy, Myra wants to know who was outside.
It was I live by a train, and it was going by, and it was making a really weird noise. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to come crashing through the house or something. I don't know.
Now, Anita, you mentioned the other day you went sourcing and found 8 jars of jewelry?
Yes, today.
Oh, today.
Today, yeah. I haven't opened any of them yet. I'm going to start opening them Monday. And I came. There was 8 there, and even if there was 6 or 10 or 11, I probably would have gotten all of them, because sometimes when you go, there's none at all, and you can go for a few weeks and see nothing in all the stores, and then one day you'll either see 1 or 2. Today there was 8, and I did have for 8 of them, so I did go ahead and take all of them.
Now, how do they sell them primarily? Is it bulk?
No, they just come like in a jar, filled in a like a vase for flowers. They just put a jar.
I never see. I see they don't do that here.
Yeah, they just call it a jar. It's a vase filled with jewelry, and they price them from. I've never seen one for $10 recently. They used to have them months ago for that were $10, but now they're pricing them from $25 all the way up to $75.
Wow.
It got varied from $25 to $35. So none of them were over $35.
Now, are these at Goodwill?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like to the jewelry real, or?
Well, you don't know. It's kind of like it's like a lottery ticket. You don't know what's inside. It can be all trash. It can be, you can find one good piece in there that'll make up for the whole vase. You can find more than a few pieces in there. I've opened jars where I found a whole bunch of silver jewelry, and I have opened jars back to back where there's nothing inside, and I had to toss all of them and put them into craft slots. So it's fun to open it because it's exciting. You don't know what's inside.
Treasure hunt.
Yeah,
it's like a treasure hunt. It's fun for me, and the viewers enjoy watching it because they get to hunt with me.
Yeah, and you do a really good job of doing those videos, and you kind of have to have a little bit of that extra personality when you're doing videos a lot with your hand, just your hand. So you do a good job at that, Anita.
Yeah,
they're always fun. I'm going to share this with you all because, to be honest about the happenings of my reselling business. But I think it was the last time I was on this, hanging out on the Late Show. And I had mentioned that I hadn't had any issues with returns yet. And I was like, knock on wood. I didn't really knock on any wood, but I think I should have because I had to return today. And I know there's a second one coming. And how I know that there's a second one coming is because I'm a dweeb and had 2 similar items. Well, the exact same items, pretty much, except for there was one. Okay, so it was cream, like for your face. One was for normal to dry skin, and the other one was for normal to oily skin, and they looked really similar. When I packaged them up, I packaged them pretty much just the same. I put a note card usually, and and weigh it out, and then slap the shipping label on it. But I'm guessing what I did was I swapped the cards and I put, and I print it out and put it on there and looked at the note card. It was for the wrong person. So how I know I'm going to have probably 2 returns is because somebody got a hold of me today and said, this was
the wrong one. Yeah.
So I did the whole return, asking for them to send me the product. A lot, like if it wasn't as much as it was, I'd just be like, whatever, just keep it. But it's kind of an expensive product, so I want it back. It was brand new. I figure it's gonna have to go to the other person.
Yeah. Do you think they?
Huh?
Can't you send like them return labels, one to each of them, and they can put it
well, the other one hasn't got a hold of me yet. I just know that there's they've got the wrong product. So I did send the return label to the first one. That's the first time I've ever done that. Ever.
Yeah, that happened to me. That happened to me. Yeah. And I did send them return labels to each of them, and they put the labels on and sent it back.
At first I was kind of upset because I had such a good. I hadn't had to deal with that yet, and I knew the other day, a couple weeks ago, in saying that I was like, I put that out there on YouTube. Watch, I'm gonna have a return now, and sure enough, 2 weeks later, and I mean it's completely my fault. Like at first, I was a little annoyed with myself, or not super upset, but I was like proud that I hadn't had to deal with that. But stuff happens, and you figure it out, and you move on.
So absolutely.
Yeah, we've all had that happen. That happened to me too, where we sent the wrong item to the wrong. We mixed them up.
Yeah. I mean, the color of the boxes is like one is really, really light green, and the other one is like super, super light purple. And that whoops. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
What can you do?
Nothing you can do about it. I mean, it didn't affect me to make me like drop below anything and really, mess.
You shouldn't really have a problem with them unless they write in some kind of negative feedback, which I hope they won't.
Yeah, that would suck.
It's cleared up, and they should understand that it happened, that accident. It does happen, and if they get their items that they did purchase in the first place, I don't know why they would why it would be an issue.
Yeah.
And do you think they've used it at all? Like, did they?
I hope not. It was brand new. I mean, if they did, I don't know what the next step necessarily is. Then they sent me a picture of it still in its like bubble wrap, and you could see like through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I immediately knew, and then I checked, and I was going back through the solds, and I was like, "Dang it! That means I sent the other one." Maybe they didn't notice the other person. I have no idea, but oh well, it happens. I see a few people. So Greg, special shout out to Greg. He sent me a few items from eBay Open, and I took those with me when I went hiking last week to the top of Mount Evan. So I took eBay Open items with me 14,000 feet in the air. But he says, I feel your pain, Kim. I did the same. Of course, the person received a higher value item, kept it, and never responded. That brings up a good question. How about you ladies? Have you had an experience of anybody pulling kind of what Greg was talking about you making or something, or maybe not sending you back the same item that you had sent out? I know I've heard horror stories from all kinds
Well, I've been doing some merchant fulfilling on Amazon the past couple of weeks because it's an item that like you can't send into Amazon. It's called hazmat. And I had a customer message me and she said it's a bottle. It's a unit of 3 bottles and basically one of them was empty. And I know it wasn't empty because I, inspected it before I sent it out. But I messaged them and I said, okay, I apologize, blah, blah, blah. Can you send me photos? And they did not want to send photos. And I called Amazon and I was like, what do I do? And they were like, well, the customer, is not obligated to send you photos. I basically just refunded because, I didn't want negative feedback. So, but yeah, so I have had some issues with the returns or issues happening like that. So.
Right. Well,
Yeah, the weirdest return I had was I had a return that said it didn't fit. It's like, okay, but it was a stuffed animal.
What were they doing with the stuffed animal?
It was like a little puppy. It was just a little puppy. And the reasoning for the return was it didn't fit. And the message, I guess that's all she could choose, because the message that she sent me was that it was too big for what she wanted it for.
Okay.
Like, okay.
Shadow box? What was she going to, what didn't it fit?
Like, it didn't fit for what?
Maybe
I got it back and it was clean, so oh no, doesn't fit. But.
Yeah. Well, the oddest thing that happened to me was when somebody, this happened on eBay, and it was wine glasses, 6 of them, and they were new in the box and everything. And then they received it saying that the item is used and they don't want it, to send it back. And I said, okay, send it back. They're not, and they weren't used. They claimed that they saw water spots on it. And I said, okay, send it back, because I knew I could sell it for the same price to somebody else. And when I got the item back, I opened it up and I see some other glasses in there. Something totally different.
Yeah, I've heard of that happening.
This is not mine. I'm sorry.
At least it wasn't dirt like Amazon's been getting back.
Right?
There were water spots on it on the glasses she sent me. But yeah, and but eBay did side with me when I did send them the pictures and everything that I got. They did side with me, but that was weird.
I'm crossing my fingers that I won't get another return. When I was in North Carolina last week, I was there for work. I went reselling there, and my husband was taking care of the eBay stuff while I was here, and I sold some Ferragamos. I bought them for $5 at a yard sale, and I sold them for $65 plus shipping. So the guy was like $85 into it.
Right.
My description, everything, the picture, everything that I sent him said black Ferragamos. And I had to have my phone off when I was in my class and my training because of the subject of it. And I get out of the class on a break and I turn on my phone and I have all these dings on there. Just my husband just texted me. He's like, are you sure they're black? I can't find any black ones. The only ones I'm finding are brown. Are you sure you have a? And I was like, are you sure that they're brown? And I looked at the listing. I was like, no, they're like a dark brown. They're not black. And I was like, dang it. So I started messaging the buyer. And I was like, I have to ship them like right now. And I was in North Carolina. My husband's here. He's like, just tell me when and I'll press enter and print out the label. And I was like, send it. I was like, I've messaged him like 5 times, told him what was going on. And they were delivered over a week ago. So I haven't heard anything, but we'll see.
Yeah. And you know, the worst thing is when they buy something from you and then they wait 20 something days and then they message you. I don't want to return I want to return an item. Hello, it's been over 20 days.
Yeah.
Why didn't you want to return it when you received it?
Right.
Yeah, if you don't, item is not as described. Okay, it wasn't
Well, after 30 days of use, it's not going to be as described either.
Yes, that deserves some clapping.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
that made me think about somewhere, that's obviously a few of the negatives of reselling life is, returns. How about a customer or somebody that maybe that you sent something to that said something really awesome about whatever it was? Like, you ever sell anything to anybody who was just like overly excited or sent you
Yes.
or you heard a cool story about whatever maybe they did with it? Good feedback. How about some good or your favorite feedback?
I sold a set of glasses, like a vintage crystal glasses, the Princess House glasses, tumblers.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady messaged me when she got them. They're in perfect condition, still new in the box. I like untaped it just to take pictures. And she said she was a home economics teacher, and she had like an entire Princess House collection, and these were the only ones that she was missing. So, and she thanked me for listing them because now her collection was complete.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's cool. How about you, Anita? Do you have any?
Well, you know what I like? I like when I see, like, when it comes to Etsy, when they send you feedback, they can send a picture as well. I love it when they send me pictures of the item being used. There was this one man who bought this egg-shaped looking candy dish, and then he took a picture of it where he put it on his desk with some other items, and I'm like, that looks so good. That looks better than the picture I took. The listings. And
That's so
and
cool.
I also love it when I sell jewelry, and then they'll send me pictures of themselves wearing it, saying how much they love it and thank you, and then they'll post a picture of them wearing the jewelry, which I love.
Gosh, Craig, did you guys read
That
what
is
Craig was saying?
awesome. Yes.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. So for me, there's a few, but the one that comes to mind is
Wow.
I had picked up a music box. It's one of the things that I like to pick up. It's actually one of the few. Like, I started one of the when I opened up my own store. For those of you that don't know, I was a lister before I had my own eBay store, and I've had my eBay store a couple years now. But I liked to pick up music boxes. I would find them, in Goodwill or wherever it was, and they wouldn't turn. Well, when I was little, I would pick up music boxes from Goodwill to keep for myself, and I would fix them. So I started doing that, fixing them and then selling them. And I had picked up one that I can't remember. It's saying like "You Light Up My Life," I think is what it was, and it was just this little cute little girl sitting at a piano, playing the piano or something like that. And it wasn't even a super expensive music box like some of them I've sold. But the lady messaged me and told me that she was so excited that not only had I had that item and she had been looking for it, but I had sent it out really, really fast and it arrived, not broken. But she had brought it to her dying mom in the hospital. She only had a few days left to live. And she had that same music box when she was a little girl, and she found it. And so she brought it to her mom, and she was like, "Thank you so much." And really, I didn't, it's not like I was all, "Hey, let me pick this item up because I'm going to be able to send it to somebody who was dying." I just picked it up because, well, I liked to pick up those things. So that was a pretty cool
That is so
moment.
awesome.
Yeah, and she was so excited and such a bittersweet moment. But it was really cool to know that. I mean, hopefully that her mom was really, well, she said her mom was really happy and it made her cry.
It's awesome when you see that you sell something and how it touches their life. Like, it's not just a product, it becomes a story. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That reminds me, so when I first got started on Amazon, I was also just doing a little bit on eBay, and I had like a old book on there, but it was a children's book. And a lady that messaged me, she wanted to negotiate the price, And basically, you know, she was saying like, I've been looking for this book. My daughter, you know, had this book as a child. She's about to graduate from high school. I'd really like, you know, and so, you know, I just negotiated with her, and you know, she wrote me when she got it, and she was like, thank you so much. Like, you know, my daughter loved it, and this was a great graduation gift. And yeah, it really, you know, it made me feel like, okay, you know, this is really cool.
Right.
That's what makes it worth it when you get stuff like that, and you know, the good feedback, the stories behind it. Because us kind of as sellers, like, you know, maybe if it's an item that we had or personally owned, then there is some kind of sentimental attachment maybe to it. But you know, you know, a lot of times you pick up stuff and it's not, you know, you're not attached to. You might think it's cool, but it's really neat to get that good feedback. We talk a lot about the kind of negative side and forget, you know, that there's a lot of good.
That's
You know,
true.
there's a lot we do.
A lot of people buy like vintage items because it's like, for them, it's like buying memories. It's
Right.
because they buy it because it reminds them of something, or it's something they've had, and they
That's
and
so true.
yeah.
Yep, that is very true. It's just, you know, everything from my childhood currently is kind of a hot item. And the same thing will happen again to the next generation, you know, in another 10 years, it'll be everything that you know, anybody who's in their 20s now will then start wanting when they it's even like, I don't know, it makes me think about all my daughter's kind of stuff. That stuff is just on the borderline of kind of starting to some of the earlier stuff. You know, it's not, she's 14, so it's just right around some of the stuff, you know, being 15, 20, 25 years. There's quite a few things that I've kept as a kid and passed down to my children. I didn't want
Now, Michelle was asking about a Mrs. Beasley doll. I'm not sure what that
sounds
is.
really familiar. Beasley.
I'm
Why
gonna have
does
to
it
Google
sound familiar? Is that a book or is it was it a TV show?
That's
Let's see.
familiar.
Maybe Google.
Beasley. Yeah, here we go. Oh, it's a doll. It looks like with glasses, polka dots. Okay. Oh, is it from a TV show?
Okay, it sounds familiar.
Family Affair.
Oh, okay. It's from a TV show.
It just had a 50th anniversary edition come out, I guess.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. I will keep an eye out. Is there anything that you ladies, if you come across, that you end up more than likely keeping rather than getting rid of, or are you? I mean, maybe you're a minimalist and you can sell every single thing, but is there anything that you see that you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna just keep that from the sale?
I love giraffes, but I still sell them. The one thing that I did buy around Christmas time and I ended up keeping it, it was like $1 because they were just trying to get rid of stuff at the Goodwill. And I guess they thought it was broken, but I went and fixed it, just put batteries in it. It's a bear. It's about this big. And it's dressed in a little nutcracker outfit and it's holding a book. It reads and plays like the story and everything of the Nutcracker. It's 15 minutes long and it plays it all and it moves and talks and it's amazing. And it's like, yeah, I'm keeping that. So, and we played it for the kids and everything and they loved it too. So that's something that I'm going to be using every year.
That's cool.
That is really cool. I think I would like that because I love the Nutcracker. It's like my favorite ballet.
My daughter came out as one of the background dancers for the Fairy Princess, I guess. About 2 years ago, she does a lot of dance. So.
Oh, that's cool.
I like what DuPage Picker said. He said the feel-good stories are what eBay needs to embrace more. No one tells heartwarming stories about the time they bought tube socks or batteries. Yeah, the feel-good stories are definitely. I mean, that's what's cool. You know, I think cool about eBay or things like on some online selling platforms is that, well, you just have the opportunity to really find anything and everything that you could, your little heart desires. I'm trying to think of something that because the things that I always keep, it's because of my kids. They are like, I need this, Mom. I pay, either I got it for free or I got it from a 99-cent bag, or I paid $1 or $2. So I'm just like, whatever. All right, just keep it. Yeah. I'm hoping that they get out of the phase of whatever it is that they think they need now. My son has like all those Imaginex or whatever they're called, Batman, like all superhero. He has like every Ninja Turtle, all Hot Wheels. I mean, I'm a boy. 1,000. Oh yeah, he's very much a boy. He probably has the most money sitting in his room than everything in the house added together, just because it's toys and a lot smaller. I mean, Legos to Mario. He loves Mario. And I kept all of my game systems from when I was a kid.
Wow.
I have an original Nintendo with the gun, with Duck Hunt.
That was so bad.
Oh, I love Duck Hunt.
I have Paperboy. I have Kung Fu. The little. Yeah, I love that game. Let me see what else. The Contra. All that. And my husband won't let me touch them. He's like, nope, those are mine. So he won't let me touch that. But another thing, touching on the positive about eBay, I don't know if you follow the Colorado Kid.
Yes. So I know who you're talking about. I haven't followed him as much. He's always like, hey, Outlaws. Yeah, exactly. You're talking about.
Yeah. But he is, to me, I try and have the kids, like the young adults in my life, watch him also, and also Rake and Profit. I mean, he was living in a van. He was living in a van when he was reselling, and then he started reselling, and he started learning, and now he owns his own warehouse and he lives in it. Like,
isn't that amazing? It is huge.
Amazing stories, yeah.
And it's like,
Colorado Kid. Is he on Instagram?
I'm not sure. He's a little quirky. He's always wearing a hat.
Yeah.
He used to source from the flea market, which is within minutes of where Mile High Flea Market. And we started our YouTube journeys about the same time. Yeah. So that's how I know him. And I know that when he first started, he was down here, sourcing, and then he got the opportunity to get a warehouse, a bigger plot of land up in the mountains, which I'm jealous of, because I want to live in the mountains so bad.
So bad.
Yeah, and he seems like such a nice guy, a little quirky, which, I love people like that. So, and he's doing well, though. He's doing well. He does soul videos. He's a cool dude.
I'm trying to teach my kids, that they don't have to do it. I mean, like I've spoke about it before, my kids aren't the healthiest of children. My oldest has endometriosis. She's only going to be 20, and she's already been through 3 surgeries in her life. And she busts her butt every day working on her feet, and she's always in pain. And I finally took her garage selling with me today, and she loved it. She picked up some stuff, and I took her to an estate sale, and and at the first 2, she was like, yeah, it's okay. And then like I started showing her the stuff that I got and like to resell. And then, so she saw what I was doing. So we're at an estate sale, and she goes, look, Mom, I'm going to get this. I was like, okay. It's like, what do you need it for? She's like, oh no, I can. It's like going for like $50-$60 right now on eBay. They've sold like 3 of them and stuff like that. I was like, take it if you want. So like she already started looking at it. So she spent $60, and she can make, with the stuff that she chose and she looked at, she can make triple that if she wants.
Oh, that's
wow.
So, I mean, if she can start doing that, and she's been looking at, and I told her, I was like, to be honest, I have my whole setup over here. You can use my setup. You can, if you need storage room, because she lives in a little apartment, I have extra shelving here that she can use if she needs it. So I'm just trying to show them that, I mean, even though when they were growing up, honestly, the way that I was raised, if you don't get A's and B's in school, you're a loser and you will never amount to anything. That's how I was raised. When I started raising them, that's what I pushed. Oh my God, get good grades because you're never going to do anything, da, 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 da. With the way that the world has changed, in this last year, my entire outlook has changed in life. I want my kids to be happy. Education is education. Everybody learns in their own way.
Right.
Everybody thrives in different areas in their life. And if the grades are not perfect, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be a success.
Absolutely.
At
Absolutely.
this point, I'm trying to motivate them to do what's going to make them happy. Like my youngest loves to write and draw, so I try and support her in doing that. My middle child loves to dance, and she loves doing technical things in theater, so I support her in that. And so I want them to be happy, and I love that they're seeing me do this, do the YouTube thing, do the reselling thing, because I've always, since they've been small, talked about having my own business. And I've tried everything. I've tried the drop shipping. I've tried the Mary Kay. I've tried the Avon. I've tried anything and everything to try and be my own boss.
Right.
And finding this reselling community and this reselling thing. It's something that is me. It's all me. It's what I find, what I look for, what I put into it. I'm going to get out of it. And I love that they're seeing me do this. And now, even they've been following my YouTube channel, and now they're giving me tips. And then my daughter asked me yesterday evening, she goes, your channel is getting this, and, you're making sales and this and that. She goes, do you ever think that, you can stop working and that way you can just do this full time and not have to be going to work every day? And I was like, that's the plan, sweetie.
Yeah.
That's
so
the plan.
awesome, Veronica.
Cool. I got goosebumps thinking about that and what you're saying about, just kind of investing the time to let our kids kind of be what they, sort of want to be. Not everybody is good at, it's like, my children, my daughter is the academic one. Like it comes to her, it's not hard for her. She has amazing grades. She's ahead, she's taking advanced classes. And my son, he's the opposite. Like it's not, they're night and day. And so I'm going to make sure, as a mom, I think it's important for me to basically cheer them on in what they want to do. I definitely want to teach my son that, because I understand that, it's academically like that, all that stuff is hard, but I want to teach him to not be a quitter, that there's going to be a lot of things in life that is hard. And I worry sometimes for my daughter that because things come so easy, because she's beautiful and she's personable and she's really popular, that she's going to think that everything in life is easy. And then when there is a problem, she's going to flip, because she's just so used to
prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's hard to kind of balance, but that made me love you even more, Veronica. You're a good person, and I think it's really awesome that you're hanging out with us tonight. Mm-hmm. Oh,
hey, thank you guys. Oh,
hey, Veronica,
I've been here your show.
I've been here the whole time. Hey, Veronica, they want you to type in the chat so they can hit the 3 dots to the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, Rusted Raccoon, thanks for the $2. Make YouTube great again. Thank you. I was, again, when I said it was ladies' night, it was truly going to be ladies' night. I had 2.5 hours of sleep last night, and I didn't tell anybody that. Actually, in the green room, I was talking to Scott's wife. Me and her have something in common, that we're both breast cancer survivors, and I'm going for I have tomorrow go into the hospital for a sleep study because of radiation has affected my heart. So that's why I'm kind of a little bit laid back tonight, a little quiet. So, and again, I wanted to have Veronica come into the room and be comfortable with the ladies and chat, and without me interrupting and kind of letting it flow naturally. So I do appreciate that. But hey, I want to do something real quick. I don't know if you guys are following my 500,000 movie video that I talked about. I had gotten gold member,
Yes, I saw.
Rush Hour 2, and then the Lords of the Rings. So what I want to do is actually give away, if you have a VCR and you could use these movies, I want to give away to one of the people in the side two of these copies. So either you can get 2 of the comedies or 2 of the Lords of the Rings. Now, if you don't have a VCR but you do sell VCRs, you know what? You can make money. I'm going to ship you to them for free. If you're selling a VCR for $25, charge $28. You'll make $3 more, and you have. I'm going to put in. It's going to be a simple contest. I'm going to put in the private chat a number between 1 and 30, and
I think they can see the private chat, can't they?
No, only we can.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put a number there, and if you girls can help me, the first person that guesses the number between 1 and 30 will get the 2 copies. And all you guys have to do is email me at patpa72, and it's on my about section, and you'll get 2 free copies. I got thousands of them. I am selling to the skeptics. I have. And I don't care if you guys can guess multiple times until the person hits that number. I've been selling them by the case to people, and you know what? YouTubers, people that follow me on YouTube are the people that are buying it. So
are they really?
Yeah,
that's great.
I shipped out 4 cases this week, and just keep guessing. The girls know the numbers in there, and we can still chat. There's Jackie there. What is Veronica now? Do you work now when you're in the Army? Do you work Monday through Friday, and then you do the eBay stuff on the side?
Yes.
Right. Now, do you go sourcing then on the weekend? Keep guessing. No one's hit the number 1 through 30. You guys are hustlers. I have this feeling they're starting 1, 2.
Quicker, just hit it.
Okay, we got it. We got a winner.
There you go. Rick hit it.
Yay!
Yes, Rick.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Now, the only thing I'm going to need to know, Rick, is when you message me whether you want the comedies, Gold Member, Rush, and these are brand new, not open, or you want the Lord. Now, they're not. I thought they were set. The Lord of the Rings is a regular one, and this is the extended. So, maybe you give one a gift, whatever. I mean, it's yours. Whatever you want to do with them, that's up to you. Like I said, if you sell VCRs, you could put it. I think that's what one guy that bought from me from YouTube said. He said that's a great idea. That's what he's going to do. He sells VCRs. He's going to put them with them, and because a lot of times it's even a good way to let's do it again. We are going to do it again, but not this weekend. I'll do it a couple times. I haven't. I have to do the numbers, but I got about 10 or 12,000 of them, and it took me about 4 days. That video to make actually took me the course of the week because I was filming every day. They called me the other day and asked me if I wanted to buy DVDs and stuff from them, and I just never followed through because I just been busy. So, what do you ladies? You got anything planned? What's going on this week as far as? I really have to get on the ball and really start listing. I have. As I'm meeting these people were even reaching out to me wanting to. Chris the Goose that was on last night was on Scott's show. He's from Texas and he knows I like postcards. He says I don't even want to be bothered with them if I could sell them. So, Hi Tracy, how are you? Says hello, Pat and the ladies. I like that. Hey Lexi, I added 7 and 2, but Pat went backwards. Ow! It's funny that you say that. I just randomly picked 27. I didn't do the app. That wasn't planned. So Kimmy, what is going on with yourself this coming week as far as?
Well, trying to survive another week of school is number one priority. No, it takes me like about 2 weeks to get back into the groove of the kids being back in school. But I honestly, as fun as the summer is, I like the structure that happens when the kids are back in school, because then I can block out my time, and there's not so many kind of moments during the day where I have Braden, who, I mean, his nickname is Stewie because he literally is like, mom, 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 all the time. So I'll do the Monday motivation, and then of course I'm hosting this week's Thursday night show, and DG Picker Jordan is the guest. I'm excited. I think that it'll be not only cool to hear a little bit about money sales, but the thing that I like about Jordan is that he's a new dad, and I think it's kind of, we don't always talk about, we do talk about being a parent and stuff like that, but that's got to be hard, working a full-time job and then, coming home. And I remember the days my children were little. I don't know how some people do some of the reseller life when they, especially even if they have a regular job, and then get up all kinds of times in the night. Like, that's what makes me not want to have any more kids, is remembering that part. Diapers and never sleeping. Nope. I'm good. Nope. I'll deal with diapers when I'm older, when I have to deal with them again for myself. That's the next time I'll deal with diapers, or trying to sell them, I guess.
Yeah, diapers are big money. So.
I'm with you on that.
So yeah, I'm excited. And then I'm not sure who the special guest is the week after, but I will know by Thursday who is the one after. Then of course Pat is the host.
The 29th. That's right. When I come back home from Nashville, that's how I'm planning this stuff out. Rockstar Flipper Casey is going to be on there, and Casey is very again, a young man that's inspiring, doing the things that he's doing. And when I first started YouTube, and I just started in January, really. I mean, I had like 17 subscribers in December, but in other words, I wasn't pushing to people just subscribed, or I guess because they followed me if I was in somebody else's room. But when I really took it serious and I started making videos, I made a top 10 people that influenced me, and Rockstar Flipper was one of them. So there's a lot of people on that list that I'm interested in the future in interviewing on our Thursday night live show and doing something with them. Like I said, tomorrow I got to do the sleep study with that. And then, Thursday, Kimmy. And then Saturday rolls around quick. It's amazing. And so Glenn will be on next week because we're going to talk about, and then Jason and Eric will be back. I don't know. They didn't get, they said that maybe they were going to be watching tonight, but they when we were there, they were loading like 7-8 totes. I was helping trying to separate they had big plastic. I mean, the cars were lined up along the road. It was a major road, and I couldn't get the lid off the one, so I went like this to knock the lid off. And Eric goes, "Oh, be careful! You're gonna." Well, before you know it, I hit some guy in the head with the damn lid. I didn't see it because he was sitting on a chair on the other side of the totes, and it was an older guy. Looked like he was probably about 65, 68, and I was like, I apologized like 3 times. Oh, no big deal. But I was like, I was kind of embarrassed. And Jason had just texted me a little bit ago. This auction started at like 10 o'clock this morning and went to like 8 o'clock tonight. So they were still in 8:52 tonight. He texted me, said they were just leaving now. I did I made this. I don't know if I could show it here on my cell phone. I made the thumbnail. Me, Eric, and because it was a lot of clocks and watches Flavor Flav style. That was from yeah. And then the New York skyline in the background. I took that picture of us. So those guys are great. They've been.
They are.
Just they really are.
The viewers, you're talking about Nameless Picker, Eric, and Banana Finds, Jason. Both very good guys.
Right.
Plus, Jason wears a pink hat when it's ladies' night and he is around. So, okay, well, he only did that once, but
I'm sure he's wearing it now as he's watching. Aren't you, Jason?
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Well, I had texted Kimmy earlier because we usually we'll talk about the show, what's going on, and I told him that she said hello, but I didn't want to tell him the message about putting me in timeout. Me and Jason have hung out and actually have gone live from the phone following the shows and stuff. Wait a minute. Curiosity. Don't have to answer, send a message, but when as charging a pallet of VC price per unit, price per VH, might be able to. Yeah, you can buy by the deal that I worked out was the best price was the pallet price. Rick, I did get your Instagram message. That's another thing. If you guys want to follow me or communicate with me, you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. It is Patdees72. Pat is my real name, so it's no fake name. So. I'm just kidding. Oh, okay. Just added my eBay store. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I skimmed through your VCR video. Why asking? Yeah. The deal was that I worked out with him. They even called me up the other day. Sometimes, to be honest, you gotta, when you're getting deals like that, you don't want to seem like too anxious to get the deal, because I think you negotiate yourself a better price by, say, like, the drawback of this deal was there was actually 5 movies. There's a Scooby-Doo, actually. I have it right here.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Yeah, the adult, not the cartoon, but what happened was this was found on the bottom of a pallet. I loaded these in my SUV, so I had to hand load all these and unload them myself off their dock.
How many was it? The first round was smaller load than the second, but how many?
It was 40 to 50 cases at a time I was taking.
They were like pretty big cases.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I'm shipping them out, one good thing is they can ship media, so they do ship media rate. So to ship a 25-pound box is about $15. I'm selling.
Question on the media mail. Sorry to interrupt you, but while you're discussing that, those TV guides, I can't send those media mail, right? Because they have like ads and stuff.
Yeah, anything with an ad, even if you put your business card in there in media mail, that is considered advertising yourself, and you're not supposed to send it media mail.
Okay, just making sure, because I had somebody who wanted to get on it asking if I could send it media mail, because of course it would be cheaper because there's 50 books, it's heavy, so it's expensive shipping. But yeah, before I responded to him, because he just sent me a message a couple hours ago, because it ends tomorrow evening. But I just wanted to make sure while I had you on here. So thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, that's a great question. People get a little confused about the media mail thing, and it's literally any type of advertisement in it. Like you can't.
Yeah, a lot of magazines aren't supposed to. And people don't realize, I've had this happen to me. I've had stuff come in open, and I said, "Oh, why is it open?" And they go, "Oh, we opened it." The person sent it media mail, and then I reached out to the seller and I said, I had to give $4 because you tried to ship something that wasn't media. So you got to be careful about doing that. They have the right to open that package and inspect it to make sure. I came across back when I first kind of would start YouTube, I did a video on it where a lady gave me 1,000 books, and so I really looked into media, and that was the appeal of actually getting these tapes. Also, was knowing that, look, they are brand new, sealed, but these VHS tapes are dated. But there are still some interest in them, that even if I sold them for $3 a piece, people the thing is, you got to keep the shipping cheap, and Media Mail does that so that when I do sell them, the appeal is still there that they're not overpaying them. Because typically you can go to Walmart right now and buy a lot of those DVDs out of those bins for about $5.
Right.
I wish there was a way. Now I do have these listed up on Amazon and eBay. I wish there was a way that Prime Day I could send in, or do something where I could send in, let's say, 2,000 of these, and then they would sell them, let's say, for even $3 or $2.90 or $2.50 and split the money. But what hurts that is the shipping. So if it would be like an add-on product where they don't require, in other words, it has to be something that they have to purchase something else where it can get thrown in the box. There are those type of items sometimes that happen.
Do you use, Veronica, Pirate Ship?
Yes.
Yeah, because you could do, for heavier stuff, you could do bag and box.
I do that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to send heavier items like that.
John Jones, did you get the backstory about these tapes? Who was sitting on these for so long and why? Okay, in our area, I live in near Scranton, Pennsylvania. A company called Sinram had the license to make VHS tapes. They made CDs and they made DVDs. So what was happening is the conversion, as VHS was getting older and stuff like that, they started ramping up DVDs and CDs. They started doing that more. So a local guy started taking the VHS off, and someone commented about that. There are still a lot. The VHS movies still sell well overseas. The problem is obviously shipping them, because a lot of those countries are still. There's countries that are 20, 30 years behind. I run into that myself a lot when I sell radios. I sold a boombox just recently for $30 off of eBay, and the guy through global shipping paid $45. So he paid $75. So this older gentleman was paying for storage space in the warehouse to have. There was over 250 pallets of these movies. He would come in from time to time and grab like 30 of them and then ship them out overseas, and he died. So now the estate didn't want nothing to do with it. I guess there's no kids. I mean, to be honest, what are you going to do with 250 pallets? So their concern was, what are we going to do with these tapes? And I had saw an ad posted about tapes for sale, and I reached out to them, and we worked out a deal. They wanted me to take more, and I was there one day when a company came and took like 4 truckloads. The drawback is, again, there's only 4 choices. If there was probably 20 choices, I could probably move these cases like that, because I could do 2 or 3 movies in each and have a variety box. The variety boxes that I'm offering are, I am doing a mixed case of half the Lord of the Rings, and those are the ones I've sold, where I sell half of the one, half of the other. And I actually just sent a case down to Harlan, and I told him, I said, Harlan, if you don't get any money for him, I'm not worried about it, but we're doing a test. He does that auction down there every week, so he takes things over there. So he's going to take 6 or 7 at a time and bundle them and see what he gets. At the end of the day, he may only get $15 for him, but that's okay. If he gets $15 for him, we'll still make a couple bucks. Now, I'd probably have to eat the shipping as far as that, but it's just an experiment to see what happens. It's going to probably take me 2 years to get rid of all of them, but they don't take up as much space as you might think. So that answers John Jones' question. Veronica, do you have anything before we're going to close out the show? We typically do the show around 2 hours and 10 minutes, that you want to push, or what show you're on, or different things that you're doing as far as YouTube?
No, I mean, I'm going to be posting the garage sales that I went to yesterday. I went to the first Friday all day. I took the day off of work. I went garage sailing all day yesterday, and I recorded it. So the video is actually just ready a little bit ago, so I'm going to post it. I'm still learning how to do videos and stuff like that. I use iMovie, so I don't really know how to put up thumbnails yet. I want to put in an intro, kind of Cincinnati Picker and stuff like that uses, but Even like the one Anthony uses is really cool.
Yeah, this is a very cool
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Anthony's is reminds me of like a television show. Back
Every time I play it, my husband says, every time you start watching that person, I think you're watching Groundhog's Day, because that's the intro to Groundhog's Day also.
Yeah.
But I'm just putting up more content. I am going to be listing more, and I might just take the plunge and start posting videos about those exercises, even if they're little 5-minute videos.
Well, and you know, that's the thing too. When you're first starting YouTube, get comfortable, even if it's silly little things that you feel, just to get comfortable. Coming on a show like this is you get, and you did a great job tonight. You
She's a natural. Like,
Yeah, you really are.
Very good.
Thank you.
You did a good job.
Just found out today that I'm getting my chops busted because I didn't list nothing for about 5 days. Yeah, you're right, Raccoon. I have actually 2 stores. My Patdees, my original store, and what you can see, my feedback is close to 2,500. I'm not sure what Jill is asking about. Cincinnati Picker's one of the pet. Yes, I think so too. He is one of the best. Hey, Tommy, thanks for stopping in. But I have another store with my son that we have about 800, and then we have feedback of a couple hundred on there. When I decided to really go full time and get serious about it again, we put a lot of things on that to help build that up. You know, feedback is tough because I'll be honest, I think 70% of the people don't leave feedback. Now, what I do automatically, and when I say automatically, I don't have it set up that it does it. I always put a personal message like, hey, thank you. I appreciate your support. Love to all. And you'd be surprised by not having a generic message, how many people my feedback has gone up a lot this year off my Patdees store just because of that personal message. Hey, somebody is asking, Tracy is asking about your kitty ears.
Well, these are called Animears. They're on Amazon. I don't sell them. They're not mine, but I think they're like bear ears. I can't figure out what they are.
My
but
daughter would love those.
They're cute.
They come in different colors, but I like them because it's like, you know, Halloween every day when you wear them. So
Now, Rusted Raccoon is saying that not listing daily hurts analytics. I've actually heard. I think Kimmy, you're the perfect example because a couple times when I reached out to you last week for like 3 days, I didn't hear from you, and you said you were listing like mad.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And now you said you're seeing the result. Right. You're seeing the result of it.
Yep. There's quite often I had to like I was lurking a lot more this week, and I will be, especially with school being back in session for my kids. But I was lurking a lot more in chats because I was, busy listing and then shipping. I mean, what was it? I think I sold just on the phone. I was on the phone with you or something, or between one point of talking to you. And then seeing you on the show, that's what it was yesterday. I had sold like 4 items after I had already just packaged up the 4 right before that, not including the 9, earlier that day. So it pays to be, listing stuff every day. Try to do something every day. And if you can't do it every day, schedule it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm having someone asking me about where the auction is for the tapes. What I'm going to do real quick is I'll post the link in there. Rusted Raccoon knows my store, but Jill is asking. So give me like a minute or two just to post that. Anita, what's going on with you this week besides getting those 8 jars open? And you, I've been seeing you doing a lot of videos lately.
Yeah, Monday I'm gonna do a giveaway on my channel live at 2 Central. I'm gonna give away a Swarovski necklace and some other items, and then the rest of the week I'll be doing I'll be opening up the jars, and then I also have my I Love Etsy list 10 series that I do at least 3 times a week. I'm going to do that. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be on Jason Static's show.
Okay.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Thumbs down, show.
Thumbs down. Not here, not here.
Not
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, not,
Thumbs up here.
well, as the channel grows, I'm getting sometimes thumbs down before the show even starts.
That
It is
means
what it
you
is.
read it. It's
Yeah.
me, Pat. It's me. No.
Yeah, I
Pat,
guess you can't worry. I guess you can't worry about it. That people are, you know.
It doesn't matter who you are. There's going to be somebody who doesn't like you, and it's all
Absolutely.
right because there's a whole bunch of people who are going to like you. So you just got to keep doing your thing and not. I remember the first few thumbs down, and I remember when you got them too, Pat. And you were like kind of the same way as me, as being like, "Oh, well, that sucks."
My
Like,
feelings got hurt.
yeah, you just. I mean, once you get so many, then it was like somebody was. I don't know. It came to a point where it was every single time I would put up a reminder, and there'd already be a thumbs down. Even before I went live. Heck, somebody did it when it was my birthday. Like, how you gonna thumbs down my birthday even before my own party? But people, you know, and that's all right. You can't let it get to you. I mean, look at some of the bigger channels, like Jenna Marbles, for example, one of the biggest female YouTubers. She gets thousands and thousands of thumbs down, and so you just, you know, it's not.
Yeah, I've talked to Taco in person about it, and he, when you hear the stories that the bigger channels, the comments they get, let me tell you, 2 or 3 thumbs down is nothing. If you read the comments, yeah. So, and I'll be honest, everybody's been. I try to get along with everybody. I'm trying to host something here that I can, provide a service to people that want to follow the channel and get information out. And I enjoy interviewing people and talking to people. Saturday's a little bit more casual, laid back, but when we do Thursday Night Live, people are, oh wow, you got some big, people sitting there at times, and people don't realize it's a lot of work. You're not just calling somebody up in a week and saying, hey, come on my show. You're meeting these people in person. You're interacting. You're willing to help them with their videos. Jeremy and George have been tremendous towards me, and we're still doing stuff again that we're probably going to be doing stuff a couple times a year. So you're building those relationships too. And to be honest, they don't have to do that. I'm not a big channel. They are. They're helping me, and I'm very gracious of it. So I did post that link in the chat to those case lots. I'm having the screen is acting up a little bit, but I think you guys. I don't know if you saw that link. I'll post it one more time.
Yeah, I saw it there.
Okay.
Right.
I'll post it one more time, and
I just want.
yeah, you're right, Tom. I agree. There are a lot of. I don't have room for that stuff to be jealous. I'll be honest. I'm envious of people that are doing a good job, and I try not to get caught up in some of that.
You should
drama.
cheer your friends on, others on. Like,
The thing is,
be happy. Sorry.
yeah, the thing is, we can't please everybody. And for all the negative people out there, look at how many positive people we have. And positive outweighs the negative. So that's what we
way outweighs it. Way outweighs it.
Way outweighs it. Yeah.
Which is why I call myself the cherry picker, because I was a very, 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 very pessimistic person. Like, I really was. My whole outlook was, why be excited about it when, if you're excited about it and it turns out bad, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you're expecting the bad thing, then you won't be disappointed. You'll have something to be happy about. That's the way I used to think about things. I don't like to think about that stuff anymore, because I know that it just drags me down. It was dragging down everybody around me, and I'm trying to rebuild myself and, get more friends and actually let people see me for me, instead of just, the be that they used to know me as.
So,
You just gotta not let things bother you.
Veronica, we're going to ask this publicly. What did you think? This was your first live. Wasn't bad.
I don't think it was. I had a lot of fun. I really did. Yeah, yeah.
I really appreciate you guys. And ladies, thanks for helping me out this weekend. Again, everyone that's following me, Eric and Jason will be back next week. Swamp Picker is going to be here. Glenn too for the first hour, and Anita usually joins me. She kind of, and I'm going to be honest with the audience. I get a lot of comments that they like that there are women on the show. Because that is a general comment that people make. They say that, hey, just guys sitting around reselling. There are women out there because of what's going on in their life. They want to make extra money, or they want to do it, or something's going on in their life. So I always appreciate the ladies helping me out. So I want to thank everyone for following me. Please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to any of the channels here. Veronica. I will, after this video comes in afterwards, I'll put the description. But I think she was up to 100 and some, so she did get some subscribers. And
I do appreciate everybody that subscribed to me, and I'm always open to criticism. Throw me a DM, throw me a comment down there. Anything that I can improve. If I miss something, if you think I should fix something, just let me know. I'm always open to criticism.
That's great, because I mean the best way to learn and to improve is to hear the opinions, and obviously there's people who just are trying to be trollish about things, but you can't grow and improve if you don't ever change or you don't ever do anything different. So it's good to be open for that, because there's a lot of people willing to help. That's what's great about the YouTube community and the reselling community is there's plenty of people that will help and give advice or give you tips or whatever it is. So it's good to be open for that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Tiffany, Anita, you want to say anything before we go?
I just want to say it was nice to meet you, Veronica, and thanks again, Pat, and of course I already know Tiffany, and thank you for having me on your show.
Anita, ever since we had you on our Thursday Night Live, I was afraid to ask you and stuff, and Kimberly had you come on, and you've been very supportive of me, even on a personal level. So I greatly appreciate that. The friendships that I've developed with YouTube means a lot to me.
Yeah, and I echo that. Just thank you, Pat, for inviting me on. It was great to meet you, Veronica. Thank you for your service to our country. Thank you so much. And yeah, guys, have a good night. Thank you for watching.
All right, guys. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Bye.